Let's be honest, COVID-19 has hit and it's affecting all of us in the management rights industry. We're here with Trent Pevy of Pevy Lawyers, who's going to walk us through the trends that are happening in the industry through our transactions.
Thanks, Christine. Obviously threw the cat amongst the pigeons back in March when the pandemic hit. And once we got over the initial shock of it, and there was a wave of termination after termination, especially in relation to short-term buildings because of the uncertainty, it has now settled back into a more consistent pattern, one that is inspiring more confidence, and we are seeing the banks start to step back in and fund these businesses again on the basis of what they are. They're good, valuable investments, relatively safe and designed to provide a long-term steady income. Certainly short-term letting buildings, we've not seen as many of those transact, but we are starting to see those cogs moving again, and we're very optimistic.
That's good to hear.
We're very optimistic in 2021 that it's going to be a big year in that. Probably the biggest thing is that there's going to be a pent-up demand. In every given year, there is X number of sellers and X number of buyers that want to sell or buy managed rights. Many of those have been frustrated during the past several months because of COVID-19, and they're going to still all be there, but probably in many more numbers, trying to get their hands on the same amount of stock. The other big trend that we're seeing is that the timeframes in a transaction are being dragged out much longer.
Yes.
So it's about sellers being especially patient, but also buyers too. Part of that is that complication with the financing and the uncertainty that comes around things. But the good thing is the industry has reacted really well in terms of getting everybody together and finding out each other's opinion on how we can make this work. At the end of the day, we act for just as many sellers as we do buyers. So coming up with a framework and a solution that is going to enable a fair transaction to happen has been paramount to seeing this through. And I certainly commend the accountants in the industry as well as the finance brokers and the valuers for doing that. The other thing that I think, the final thing I would say in relation to trends that we're seeing is people thinking outside the box more. When it comes to selling their business right now. That might mean actually approaching your body corporate first, as opposed to typically leaving it to the tail end of the transaction. Looking at things like a vendor finance component, or structuring things in a different way that we can delay the settlement date, but still get certain things ticked off now and give buyer and seller confidence that both parties are working towards a sale, albeit in a longer time frame than usual. That aside, we're still there, we're still working hard, we're still trying to get as many things across the line as we can, we're still trying to protect our clients' interests as much as we can. COVID-19 or not, the industry is demonstrating that it can prevail.
That's fantastic, Trent. So COVID or not, it is not business as usual, but it is business and it is moving forward. So as long as you have allies like Trent to get you through this process, then we'll keep on trucking.